9, 8.
You're watching Experience Comic Culture and Sales. Streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
2, 1.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Geek Chat. I'm Rich.
I'm Des.
And you are watching us on The Experience. Be sure to head to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, Threads, wherever social media is, and give us a like and follow.
Skywriting. It's awesome.
Yes, and tell all your friends about it.
Yes.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Also, please like and share wherever you're watching. All of that really helps. We're trying to reach a milestone right here to get us as many followers as possible. So please tell a friend, sit down. And last but not least, this is a live show. So if you can, if you want to mention anything that we're talking about or, give us your thoughts on comics, please do. We love to interact with our listeners and our viewers. So please don't be scared. I know lurking is fun, but definitely take some time and, ask us questions, talk about the comics that we're going to be talking about, because we really love interacting, even though we talk to each other all the time. So, give us a chance to talk to you.
And head to comicshoppingexperience.com, sign up with the mailing list, and then you can see all the shows. There are live shows every day of the week. Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Happy February, guys. Happy February, Paul. It is Black History Month, and the comic books, wow, they have definitely the big two have definitely come out with something to celebrate a Black History Month, and we will be talking about that as well after the commercial. But first, as always, we talk about TVs and movies. So if you've been watching for a while, you'll know that I have embarked on an adventure, a what is it? A Homer-esque odyssey, if you will.
Doe.
Not that Homer, but close enough. And I was going to watch all 51 movies, animated DC movies. And I still am going to do that. But I need to take a break because Rich put something special in the outline that he wanted me to watch. So what did we watch for this week's show, sir?
We watched He-Man. No. Masters of the Universe.
Yes.
Revolution. It is Kevin Smith's final installment of the Masters of the Universe series.
Are you sure?
Well,
because the way it ended,
there's no third season yet. But he is very hopeful. Oh, yeah. I learned that the reason why there's 5 episodes and not 10 episodes is because the algorithms and all that at Netflix, the higher up said, you can only do 5. So 5 it was. And he says it's good that there's 5 because he could tell a more cohesive story. I happen to think they needed 1 more episode. And we'll get into that as we talk about.
I don't know about that. I think this was succinct enough for it to, it held my attention. So this was your pick. So let me know, what were your thoughts about, and this is episodes 1 through 5.
Yep.
They all are released, so you can go and watch this at your leisure if you have Netflix. Some of the stars were William Shatner, which is very interesting. It was Mark Hamill as Skeletor. And a bunch of other people.
So they switched.
John Delancey.
It used to be Buffy that was the voice of Tila. Well, in this, it is Supergirl, Melissa
Bennett.
Yeah. Which I thought was really interesting because when I first put it on, I was like, wait a minute, that's not Buffy. Wait a minute. And then I went to the IMDb page and I was like, Oh, Supergirl. Okay, keep it
No.
in the family. Still a
Yeah.
superhero. I thought it was really cool that both Skeletor and Keldor, which is his before he became Skeletor, was a Star Wars and a Star Trek. So
Yeah.
the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I thought that was really kind of cool. And I did like, yeah,
So you
the
have not
new.
watched the first season at all.
I have not, and I
Okay.
am gonna go back and watch it. Given I thought, and the cool thing about this one was, even though I did not watch the first one, it was they gave you just enough
Yes.
to entice you to go back and see what you missed, but it was not so focused that you literally had to see the last one to know what was going on in
No.
this one. And I thought
Nope.
that was really, really good.
Nope. They did a good job telling you who died.
Yeah, and what was going on in the after plane and the heavenly Valhalla like place, and the whole thing starting in the afterlife, trying to save Fisto and the other people that had died in the prior series was really cool. And I thought that the way that they handled death in animated shows was really well. I thought I thought the writing was strong. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed everything that happened. I really want, even though Tila is the new sorceress, I really wanted to see what was going with Evelyn's backstory. So I really want to go and learn about what happened with Evelyn. Like, her character arc seems to be really, really strong.
Yeah.
Hi, Kenneth. Welcome
Hey,
in.
Kenneth. Yes. And
Um,
when she turned to the snake magic and she
yeah,
was in that green, almost reminiscent of her action figure from back in the day.
yep.
The melding of the different magics. I was really hoping to see some snake men. I was just like, but nope, we just got snake magic, which I'm okay. Hopefully
Yeah,
snake man comes later.
yeah.
Interesting that the mythology of Eternia has the weird technology monsters buried underneath the ground.
Very Legend of Zelda.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's basically kind of how Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom was. Yeah. So Kenneth says, "I'm back at home from the heart operation, and I'm at home. So Tuesday. I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Day they put stents in my heart, and the blood vessels are working good after they put the stents in my heart. So yes, so it looks like he got stents,
Good.
which is great. I'm glad that you're feeling. I hope you're feeling better, and you're probably in a little pain. But great to have you back. And now you just have to sit back, and get better and listen to our dosed tones. Hopefully, they don't make you sick. But welcome back.
Yes.
But one thing that I really thought was kind of a miss,
What?
and maybe this is because I missed it in the first episode, was it's weird that they set up the hierarchy of the villains, and really putting Skeletor being the subservient or the acolyte because the other guy didn't like magic. So I thought that was kind of interesting, but having them, I always saw them as being equals, and I'm glad that Skeletor wasn't placed in a subservient light for too much for longer.
Yeah.
And I want to know, was in the first one, did they have the evil fleet? And
No.
okay,
Hordak was finally shown. I don't remember if it was in the last episode or I think the Hordak was a reveal for this season.
okay, see,
From
and
what I
that's
remember.
it's because I like the whole magic and technology being melded together, and I really hope that didn't happen off screen. And like the whole motherboard thing, I thought that was really cool. And if you notice her design looked an awful lot like a sorceress.
Yeah.
If you notice that. So I
Yeah.
thought, see, that's the thing. That's always the thing about Kevin Smith that I really, really like is he is a 80s kid through and through.
Yeah.
And he understands nostalgia very, very well.
Oh my God, yeah.
When he didn't have the sword and he had to use the battle axe and he had to use the thing on his chest
The
and
armor.
I'm like, okay, that's childhood.
That's a toy.
He worked it into the mythology and it made sense. Like everything that was happening, you know, in the show was somewhat derivative of other properties, which is fine. Everything's derivative of something, but the way that he used it and how he made it relevant to the source material made a lot of sense. And how he and all the three different staffs and the background and coming together and like it was just really like and at the end
you liked it.
I did. I was very taken aback by how much I really enjoyed the the narrative and how well it moved as a 2.5 hour movie. Like that's how it read to me.
Yeah.
Or that's how it viewed to me. It was a 2.5 hour movie that I sat down and watched, and with little breaks for like pee breaks and stuff like that. Loved the redesign of Orko. Thought it was fantastic. I really like his character. And then the weaponsmith from the movie was in it.
Movie. Yep.
I was like, what?
Yeah. When he came on the screen, I was like, oh, no way. And Kugler, he was like, what? And I was like, no. And I had to, again, I went online. I was like, that is him from the movie. How great to bring that world into it.
Yep. It made sense. And that's what I liked about it. It's like, it takes from all types of fandom and all types of media and brings it in and makes it work.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So the end. Did you know who that is?
That's She-Ra. Yeah.
Yes. So Adore was Despera, and that was her. Because if you noticed, they showed Hordak taking the baby, which was Adora.
Yeah, and that's what I was wondering. I was like, what's going on?
I screamed. I just was like,
yeah,
like I was so excited.
Yeah, I looked over at Paul and I was like, well, that's She-Ra. And he's like, who? And I'm like, it's his sister. Never mind. Experience says, oh man, the story of the making of that movie is crazy. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And if you have not seen the Masters of the Universe movie starring Dolph Lundgren and Frank Langella, please do.
Wasn't it Courtney Cox?
Yeah, Courtney Cox was in it as well. Please sit down and do yourself a favor. Get some popcorn, turn off your phone, and just watch that movie. It is so bad and so 80s and so good at the same time. Yes, Frank Langella deserves an Oscar for that performance. 100% agree. Experience. Yes, it was so silly. So just everything about the movie, and he loved it. That's the thing that was crazy about it, was he was so in it to win it with that movie. God, now performance. I have to watch the movie now. And Dolph Lundgren, it was great. Such cheese.
It's so bad. It's fun.
It's a beautiful 80s cheese, you know, and that's why I want another live action. And if they do another live action He-Man, I would want Dolph Lundgren to play the father. To play the
King
king.
Randor.
King Randor. That would be amazing. Like, I would just be like,
Interesting thing about Kevin Smith, he wrote the first episode and the last episode.
Yep.
Tying it all together.
Yeah, but I think, of course, he as an executive producer,
he had
the storyboards of everything that needed to happen. Yeah. So I definitely agree with that.
I'm glad you liked it, though.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what was going on, because I was really disillusioned by what happened with the last He-Man cartoon that came out a long time ago. This is
the
before
one in space.
Yeah, I didn't really like it. And then there was another one where it was the son of He-Man, and that was really bad. And given what happened with Thundercats and that remake for Nickelodeon, not the newest one, but the secondary one that was actually somewhat adult, was really good. And people
agree. I love that one.
Shat on that, and I was just like, so I wasn't sure what to expect with this one. And then again, the thing about the internet, and the thing you always have to remember about the internet, is everyone has an opinion and they all suck. So if you really want to get down to the nitty gritty of stuff, watch it for your own, watch it on your own, experience,
make your own mind up,
and make your own mind up, because people were crapping on this version because they didn't like the first one. And so they're like, oh, Kevin Smith has done it again and blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, So I'm like, you know what? I'm really glad that you said, hey, take a break from this. Look at this. I think you'll really like it. And I'm glad that I did.
Well,
Really solid performances from everybody as well.
the funny thing is, I think those people forgot that it wasn't called He-Man.
Yep.
It was called Masters of the Universe. And
Mhm.
it was all of them.
Yep.
And did you understand about Zodak? Were you
Yeah.
ever a fan of any of the old
Yeah.
cartoons?
Yeah, I watched all the old cartoons. So when I saw him at the end, I was like, what the hell?
And
You
it's
know?
interesting that Lynn, not evil Lynn anymore,
She's just Lynn.
she's just Lynn. That was a great that
And the blue
moment in
helmet.
her story arc was amazing.
Yeah, so I'm wondering, it's like, is she gonna be a part of them now? Is she gonna have that? I mean, I don't think that outfit would look good on her, but I thought what she was wearing before was fantastic, but
Yeah.
that was not look good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, if you are so inclined and have Netflix, he said it's 2.5 hours. You don't have to watch it all at once. We saw it in 2 nights.
I watched it all. I
watch
binged it. I
You
binged it.
binged it.
Well, one of the reasons was I had to get ready for this review, and the second reason was I was really into it. I
Uh-huh.
was really into it, and just I don't know. People saying like it needed more or it needed less. I think sometimes you don't need it to be super long. Like if you can tell a concise story, then why not do it?
I'll tell you why I say it needs one more episode.
Please let me know.
Because it went from Skeletor's arc was in the beginning was pretty cool. He saw Keldor because when Motherboard changed him, it released that memory. And
Yeah.
so, episode by episode, he's changing and he is plotting the downfall of Hordak because he realizes what Hordak did to him. And the use of flashbacks in the series for everybody was pretty good. Like,
Yep.
that's how you use a flashback to tell the story.
Yep.
But I feel like the last episode, it was the battle between He-Man and Skeletor, Skeletor and Hordak,
Yeah.
and then everything. I just feel like give us some breathing time. You just defeated Hordak, and all his people are now your minions. For me, I would have liked one more, and I also would have liked a little bit more at the end to see how, and this is why I hope there's a third season, to see how him giving up the power to the people and Tila, Man-at-Arms saying, I'm gonna run. I wanted a little bit more breathing because your world just almost ended.
Now it's changing.
And now it's changing. So for me, I would have liked, or even maybe 10 more minutes. I just needed a little more. Him defeating Hordak also too quick.
I
Like,
thought it was a pretty good battle.
the battle was good, but I just felt like, I don't know.
I thought the motherboard, and him giving Hordak her head.
Her head.
I thought that was if anything, we needed extension to see him fight Motherboard.
Yes.
Yeah,
That again.
After
that design,
Motherboard,
though,
yeah, after
the design-
Motherboard,
Go ahead.
Motherboard humbled him, so humiliated him
Yeah.
like that. I would have loved to have seen her comeuppance by Skeletor. So
I
yeah,
agree.
I definitely agree that could have been an episode all of itself as he plants the seeds to usurp Hordak. Yes, I definitely agree.
The design of her, though, when she has taken over Castle Grayskull,
Fantastic.
I was just like, wow. So
And the dripping of the tech and the nanites and everything, just really good visuals all over. Great
Yeah.
show. If you haven't seen it, definitely go see it.
So next up, real quick, I found an image right before we went online, and it's supposed to be a leaked image, but it is of the X-Men 97, which is rumored to be coming in March.
Dun, dun, dun.
So we see Beast, we see Bishop, Wolverine, Rogue, Cyclops, of course, Gambit, and then
Is that Mimic?
Storm and Mimic. Well, yes.
Wow. Are they redoing the first episode?
No. Somehow he is there in his. Remember Morph from
Sorry,
I think
Morph.
it's Morph.
It's Morph. Sorry, it is Morph. It's Morph. Sorry.
But remember the Morph from the Exiles with that white head?
Oh yeah.
That is, I believe, his new look. And then they've introduced, not in that still, but Sunspot will be in it as well.
I thought it was really cool that he has his old jacket. That jacket was so weird. The jacket he wore over the classic yellow and blue. I was like, why is he wearing the jacket?
So yeah, I found that and I was like, oh my God, hopefully soon. I can't wait to sit and talk about that. Make a whole episode out of that. It's
going to be so good.
I'm very excited. All right. So
on to number ones. Wow. What's up?
So our first book is Moon Man by Kid Cudi.
I thought it was Kid Cudi.
Okay, Kid Cudi. I don't know.
Kid Cudi.
So why don't you go over the? Well, I can do it too.
I have it right. Okay. I got the regular cover too. So
did I.
They were all out of the other covers. So script was by Scott Mesacudi.
That's him.
Yep. And Kyle Higgins.
Awesome writer.
Yep. Art by Marco Lacati. Colors by Igor Monti. A lot of eyes at the end. Letters by Hussein Atsuman Olihu. And yeah, that's it.
I just want to say one thing. If you go down to the bottom, character designs, Chase Connolly, I follow him on Twitter. Love him. He's an amazing artist.
And then David F. Walker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I really don't know how to feel about this. So you go into space. You're a spaceman
for 7 minutes.
Well, you disappear. Something happened. Yeah. For 7 minutes, they went into space and disappeared, and then you blinked back, and So basically, it seems like what happened was, imagine SpaceX, Elon Musk's thing. You went into space and something happened for 7 minutes. You literally blinked out of existence, and then you came back and you landed, and he landed the shuttle and saved everyone. But now he has some weird power from an otherworldly entity has given him superpowers, and he wears this sort of moon-like costume, and he's spacesuit, and he's trying to reconnect with his family, his brother. His brother, basically. And that's pretty much it. The first issue is a lot of talking heads around the efficacy of what the company that Moon Man works for, and what they're doing, their technology, and how it's hurting the environment and hurting the people and stuff like that. And so he's sort of like this everyman who gets superpowers, but he doesn't know what he is supposed to do with it. So in that aspect, it is a very, very used, some would say tired trope, just given a slight urban makeover, given it's by Kid Cudi, and it deals with the African American or Black experience. I thought the dialogue and language in it was pretty good. I believed that they were Black people and they were talking and how they fought and that like they were siblings. So I definitely felt that. What I did not get was the super heroics, and the only time you see his power is when he's saving his brother because there's getting ready to be a riot in front of the building of the corporation that he works at.
Yeah, his brother is a protester against the company his brother works for.
Yeah, and so he saves them, and you get to see his powers, and then his brother sees what's going on, and so they kind of end it with the brother being like, you could help out. And he's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, and so there's that tension there, which you've seen before in other shows and movies about, with great power, you're supposed to do something or something, and then there's this entity that wants to talk to him and he doesn't know what to do. So in that aspect, I was like, okay, it's one of those. It's nothing groundbreaking by any means, And it was just okay. What was not okay was the artwork. I was not a fan of the artwork. I thought it was
beautiful in some spots.
Yeah, that was the thing that was crazy. It was not consistent. The artwork was not consistent. I think that was the one thing that did it just disservice was how sketchy and how, you know, stylized the art was.
Right. There is a couple of panels where they're at this like news conference when he touches down, and person A bumps into person B, but the way it reads makes no sense.
Yep.
And I had to go back a couple times to figure out who's doing what, who picked up, like, a lot. There was a couple more than there was a bunch of times in this book I had to be like, the art isn't really conveying what it's supposed to, because from panel to panel something different happened.
Yeah, the whole scene where he uses his powers is a mess.
I
really had no idea what was going on until the end, and then I had to go back and really look at what's going on. And art is supposed to be, the art and the words are supposed to work together and be a service of each other, not the other way around. Yeah. And the art just kind of took me out of it. But which is weird is because when you look at in the back, there is a not cover gallery. There's a sketch gallery. And some of the sketches look okay. So maybe I'm thinking, okay, is it the colorist? And the colors are not working as well, because if you look at it, it's really kind of muted. It's really kind of muted as well.
But in some spots, it's bright.
I don't see, and that's the thing. It's not consistent. The artwork is not consistent.
Right.
So I don't know. Unfortunately, I probably will not be picking this up as a single issue. I most likely will pick it up as a trade, because if it's from Image Comics and it looks like it's from Kid Cudi's own, it's his own label,
Mad Solar.
Yeah, Mad Solar and Black Market Initiative. So I think it's his own company. So most likely what'll happen, hopefully, is when it comes out as a trade, it'll be a lot cheaper. Usually $9.99 is Image's trades. So maybe
not in a long time.
Well, hopefully, knock on wood, that's what it'll do, and they'll allow that to happen, because I don't know if Kid Cudi's name enough will bring it.
Well, so it's sold out. It's getting a second printing.
Well, of course, number ones usually do that. You gotta see what the second printing's going to say, because this could sell out like gangbusters, but if the second one doesn't sell, then you're dead in the water.
Yeah. I also had some high hopes for this. I will not be reading the number 2, unfortunately.
Doesn't feel it. But okay, it's 1:30, so that means we are getting ready to take our first commercial break. Please stay tuned, as we have a bunch of new number ones lined up, and some that celebrate Black History Month. So definitely stay tuned.
Bye.
There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit comicshoplocator.com to find a store near you.
Symphonic verses, Nocturne's romance. A song of romanticized darkness, dreaming death by sleep.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.
Hey everyone, welcome back. You are watching the Geek Chat on The Experience. I'm Rich.
I'm Dez.
And we are your hosts for this weekly guide into comic bookery and all the geeky stuff that goes with it. You are watching us on The Experience, and your Thursday lineup is amazing. We got the Dan Wickline show at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific, and we're wishing him all the best and speedy recovery because he's been under the weather. We have What's in the Box with Miss Jen. She's amazing. She's always got some great books for sale. She's at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. You've got the Beardies, the Geek Chat, us at 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern. And then following us at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific is Sketch Up with Mog and Mel. Be sure to tell your friends about all the shows on The Experience. Head to comicshoppingexperience.com, sign up with the mailing list, and see what's on.
Yeah.
So, are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, here we go with another number one.
And?
She did have some, yeah. So the next up is Jill and the Killers, and I'm very sorry for making you read this.
Why?
I did not much care for this book.
Yeah.
So we've got written by Olivia Carreto Briggs, illustrated by Roberta Ingranata, colored by Warnia K. Sahedwa with Rebecca Nulty, and lettered by Haley Rose Lyon. And there were a buttload of covers for this book. And it is from Oni Press. It is the Geek Chat first.
Oni Lion Forge. The Lion Forge did buy them.
Oh, well, according to the cover, it just says Oni Press.
Well, if you look at their publishing, it's the Oni Lion Forge publishing group. It's a whole bunch of weird stuff about that. So if you want to know any more about the drama around Oni Lion Press, Lion Forge, go Google it. It's funny. You know, I mean, it's not funny. It's just kind of like, oh my God, you know, but yeah, go read it. So what was your thoughts?
I did some Googling after I read this about the creator and everything.
Googling.
And so the writer says she looks back at her life and she never had a gay character who the main focus wasn't being gay. It was just their world. And she saw a chance to write this book. Oni said, yeah, go for it. You know, we're all behind you. And this was what came from it. I did not even know she was gay. But there was, I guess, the word gay. I had to go back and I guess I skipped it. I did not get that she's in love with her best friend. Didn't get any of that. She secretly wants her best friend.
I didn't get any of that at all.
Neither did I. And I'm bringing this up. You may be like, why are they talking about it? One of the things the Geek Chat is we're gay. And I want to highlight books that are about that. And I didn't get it at all. Once I read that, I was like, okay. I went back, did some rereading. I didn't get it at all. So for her, if that was her focus of the book, it failed.
Yeah. Because there wasn't even, I didn't get any of that. And I'm assuming it was the girl with the prosthetic leg, correct? Oh, because that's the only one that she had any kind of long, like, conversations with, where it felt like there could be something there.
Yeah.
For me, this read like a CW
script.
Pilot. Yeah, like a CW script. Like,
yeah,
like I'm sitting here reading it, and all I can see is literally all I can see was this, like, some of the movements and the panels and everything that was on showcase there seemed like panels or stills from a movie, like storyboards from a movie.
Oh my
God.
God.
I could just be like, okay. And it's because seriously, just the talking heads aspect of it, and nothing really happened in it. And it read like a first, like a pilot, like it read like a pilot episode. And I thought to myself, okay, are they trying? Is this going to show up on Netflix or Apple TV or something if it gets enough likes or views or pull? Because honestly, I didn't see anything in the story that really, as a comic book being a visual medium where you have to look at it and you have to read and really, like, pay attention. Because the thing about TV, which is people don't realize, is you can be watching TV, yet your senses can be doing other things. When you're reading a comic book, like, a whole bunch of your senses are there because you're reading, you're touching, you're looking at it. So it pulls a lot of your focus, where sometimes TV doesn't have to do that. And for this, it was really hard keeping my focus because it just wasn't interesting. And the mystery that they showed just wasn't it was told in such a way that was not provocative enough. Oh, they found a foot in a thing. Oh, it leads to this. Oh, there's a murder. Oh, this is, it just, everything that happened just wasn't, I don't want to say, like, spectacular or something. It just wasn't, it is
interesting.
It didn't grip me at all.
No.
And I just thought, well, maybe if it was on a television show and they could control the lighting, or they could control the sound, or they could control the music, to create an atmosphere. It didn't create an atmosphere, as I guess it was. And they couldn't really determine what time period it was in, because some of the cars were classic, some of them were older. There were cell phones, so I had a hard time picking what era it was in, what time period it was in as well. I don't know. It just really read like a small town, maybe it has murder, maybe it does. I don't know. I was just really bored reading it, honestly.
And so it makes sense now, my thoughts on the art. So the art was very static, and faces all look alike. Like, all the faces, I had a hard time. Good thing they had different color hair.
Yeah.
Because
skin. Some of the skin was a little different color too. And I was like, okay.
But you saying it's more storyboard makes sense, because in a storyboard, you don't have to flesh things out.
Nope.
And a lot of this, there were some backgrounds, there were some not backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
The talking head aspect, where they're all talking about something, I did not care.
Yeah, and then the one thing that really stuck out that was kind of cool was her aversion to water, and they kept saying what happened, and they didn't tell you what happened, just that she had to take some time off. And obviously through the course of it, you're like, oh, your mother's disappeared. Oh, she's dead. Well, so there's little things like that, and then the picture of her in the water, I was like, okay. Like, that's kind of a cool little nod about why she's hydrophobic at the moment. And So there was just little bits of the comic that really kind of shined, but overall, it was just a slog to get through.
I agree.
I was
It
just like,
was slog would be the word. I just there was nothing in this book that made me say, "Oh my god, I got to come back to number 2."
yeah, and then I was thinking to myself, like, there's got to be some more. Like, there's got to be some more because some books really feel like they're taking forever to get to the point, or they're taking forever to happen. Like, the weird thing about it was some stuff actually happened, in the book. It just was not. It just didn't grab me at
Yeah.
all.
And the dad, I thought the dad went from first of all, I didn't know that was dad.
Nope.
Dad looked like brother.
Yeah.
And then he went from her saying stuff in the beginning, and then by the end he's like a great dad.
Everyone looks super young too, except for the older lady who they basically
Lisp.
made look old. Yeah, and then the guy who was going to the Navy, I thought he was the student because actually he's the coach, and I'm just like,
I thought he was gay. I was so confused.
Yeah, it was a bit all over the place.
It was. Unfortunately, we're starting our show off with a couple, duds.
At least Master of the Universe was good.
Yes.
So next on the pile is the Big Two's salute to Black History Month, and all I can say is at least they tried. At least they tried.
Yes. So on an earlier program, you can go back. We reviewed one of the Marvel Legends, Marvel Voices Legends. It was something, and I hated it. And I did not buy this issue. I did not buy the Power issue. I said I wasn't going to do anymore, and I meant it. So luckily, we have a customer who I got to read his copies because we were reviewing them. And exactly after I read them last night, I looked at Coog and I said, "This is why I don't waste my money on these."
You sent me that emoji of Ryan Reynolds, like, oh.
I did. So yeah, we talk a lot outside of the show, and I'm like, "Did you read these yet?" He's like, "No, not yet." And I had oh god, wait till you read it.
So first off, we're gonna do the bigger one of the two. Like, DC came out. Woo! First Geek Chat. The experience says first Geek Chat t-shirt. Rich's face and instant. I hated it. Yes, very much so. Very much so.
I don't want to. I love comic books.
But they make it so hard sometimes.
Sometimes they do. And okay, so DC Power, you get 10 stories.
$10, dollar story.
Dollar
not bad.
Story. And they're, like I said,
they're not created equal though.
10 stories in this. And it is on not even newsprint. It's a
heavy cardstock. It's a heavier cardstock for the front.
For the front, yeah, but the inside.
Yeah.
So do you want to know I don't want to go through all 10 intros. Y'all can go see who wrote what. But I will say the only writer that I knew of was John Ridley. And the only artist I recognized was Dennis Cowan.
Jamal Campbell did it.
Jamal Campbell, yes.
Yeah, that was another one.
It was really good to see Dennis's art again.
And Jared Williams. Jared Williams is doing the Speed Force comic right now. That's kind of okay, but
I said well known.
Yeah, that's true. Okay? First and foremost, a lot of black folks. So, which is great. I love it. A lot of characters. Lot of male and female black characters in here. Really enjoyed it. For the representation, really good. Which stories did you like, or would you say that? I know you didn't like the whole thing as a whole, but were there any stories that stood out as being at least okay?
You know what I really liked? The Who's Who pages.
Yeah, that's because you're nostalgic as hell. So.
I am.
And I really liked them too, though.
See?
I'm a sucker. I have, people don't know this, but I have all of the 80s Who's Who's. I have them all, and I love them to death. I usually sit there and read them. Not even the stories, just read them.
Yes. So I did not hate the Velzad story.
I thought it was good. I thought the art was good. I really liked
was amazing.
seeing Earth 2. I was really happy. So I'm just gonna take over because she didn't like anything. So what I liked the first one, Enduring Farewells by N.K. Jimson and Jamal Campbell. It was about Sojourner, the Green Lantern from Far Sector, and it picks up a little bit about basically John Stewart goes over there and says, "Hey, how you doing?" And they talk about stuff. Like all of these stories basically are just day in the life of an African American or Black superhero. That's basically what it is. Nothing really happens in here that is of note in the much larger sense of the DC universe. So if you miss anything, it's fine because you're not really missing anything. I liked this one because it showed a little bit about her background and it gave a little bit more about what she's been doing since Far Sector. And that's another book that I really wanted to read, but I have not yet. So seeing this and seeing this character really made me want to sit down and read that book. The next one that I liked was A Spice of Life by Cheryl Lynn Eaton, who was the writer, and Asha Fulmore was the artist. The color was Ruth Redmond, and it was about Thunder and Lightning, the daughters of Black Lightning. And I was a huge fan of Black Lightning, the TV series, and I'm a huge fan of Black Lightning, the character. And I really liked his two daughters, and I think that these two really need their own comic book. I really believe so. Two siblings working together, having their sibling, loves and life and fighting criminals. I think that story or that series would be really good. And I think given the people, if the people that did this book were given even like a 4-issue miniseries. I mean, they gave Fire and Ice one. DC did. I mean, come on, you could do this for these two. Like, you need something like this. You need something like this. The artwork was good. Was it cartoony? Yes. But I loved the way when Lightning used her powers, her hair turned like lightning and it kind of sparked up. And when it's not, she has the braids that come down. Also, one thing that's kind of cool is she gets all light-skinned, which I thought was really kind of cool. And then so when she turns her power off, she's like dark skinned. When she turns on, she gets all light skinned. So I thought that was kind of cool, like a light bulb. I don't know. I really liked that story and everything about it. Although the whole Mustard Master and the Condom King or the Condiment King, like why? I know it was done for jokes, but they could have done it a little bit more seriously, and it would have been a lot of fun.
And that's why I did not care for that story.
Yeah. And then the Val Zod one I really liked because I was a huge fan of Earth 2 and of Val Zod. I thought that Val Zod was done dirty, and I heard all of Earth 2 was done dirty. If you want to go back and read that series, fantastic. You will love it. It was really good. I loved everything they did about that. And that was called Pure Blackness by John Ridley and was the writer, and Edwin Gallman was the artist. Those three right there were the ones that really, really stuck out to me. And they really said to me, hey, this could be something. This could be something more than the sum of its parts if you really wanted to sit down and do something with it. And yeah, some of the other ones did celebrate blackness. But one of the problems with this, and it's the same problem that I have with the Marvel one, is they don't matter, and I don't say that as they don't matter because representation matters. It's great to see it on stands. It's great to look at it, but unless you tie it to something more substantial, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And I think that's a disservice that these companies are doing, because you can put this out and people, will buy it, they won't buy it. But if you say, hey, some cool stuff is going to come out of these that really affects the Marvel or the DC or Marvel universe, and you make it a must buy, I think you would do this stuff a better service than just putting this one out there because it's Black History Month.
Yeah, I thought Nubia's story was a complete waste.
It didn't make any sense.
The whole thing.
Why is he there? Why was Mixoplex there? Like, the whole thing with Black Manta, like, huh? It just,
yes.
See, and those are misses. keep it down to like 3 really strong stories. Introduce some new black characters, give them something real to do, and then we can finally get somewhere.
Yeah. I wrote my last note is totally skippable.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and then Marvel voices, number 1. This was a little bit better in that I'm a Marvel fan, so it's like so I'm a Marvel fan, so I'm a little bit more lenient on Marvel. Although I have to say that the cover for Black Widow and Hawkeye looks kind of cool, I guess. Although I wish it was Hawkeye and Hawkeye and Mockingbird again. That was a really great
awesome. So Marvel Voices Legends, the cover is very misleading, sadly. I was looking forward to a Spectrum, Captain Marvel, whatever they're going to call her story.
Photon, I think it is.
Photon now, yeah. And Blue Marvel, who showed up in last week's Resurrection of Magneto. This was 4 stories for $6. So 4 for $5.99. And
more value in the DC one, of course.
David F. Walker had a story in this, and for me, he was the only well-known name out of all of them.
I only liked this. I only liked these because it was good to see Patriot again, because I hadn't seen him in a while.
Yes.
So that was fun to see him and him taking on Crossbones and basically living up to Captain America's mantle. And I was like, okay, that's fine.
Okay, but here's the thing. Exactly what you said about the DC one was my notes. I put why.
Yeah.
Are there plans on bringing him back?
Nope.
Like, was it just Photon? That's bad and funny. Was it in anticipation of bringing him back into the eyes of Marvel because they're planning on putting together another Young Avengers? Or, I mean, he hasn't been seen in a very long time.
A very long time. So I was like, oh, damn, maybe this will lead into something else. No.
Why Deathlock?
I didn't get that.
That was the worst story.
So, but the thing is, I think Deathlock is the one that's actually going to lead into something, though, because the question mark at the end. I read that story and I'm like, because I know nothing about Deathlock.
I just know him from when Rick Remender used him in his X-Force run.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on with the character, so this was all new to me, and so I thought, okay, someone hijacked his body, and so there's going to be this quest to get it back or stop it. Maybe the Death Locket will show up. So for that one, I was kind of like, okay, let's see where this is going. Did it need to be that long? No.
My God.
And like the ending, I was kind of like, okay, so that was just a big body swap, Freaky Friday thing. Okay. So for that, I'm kind of like, okay, where is this going?
Right.
But the last story with
what a waste for Daughters of the Dragon.
The Daughters of the Dragon story, I don't even know what's going on with that one. That was just and I like them. Like, I like Heroes for Hire.
I know, so do I.
And I looked at that and I was like, this is what we get? This? I was sad. And then the last story, which was while cute, talking about T'Challa and Storm, having kids. Grandkids. Having grandkids. And then T'Challa talking about Storm, their grandmother, and all this other stuff. And I'm thinking, okay, that's cute. We get a little like look at one of Moria's or one of her universes where she doesn't kill everybody or something like that, because of course that didn't happen because they're no longer together. So Of course this is like an Elseworld story, and I thought for what that was, it was kind of cute, but overall it's like it didn't matter. I'm thinking, and again, it's like, why? Like that. That's the problem. Why?
My note for this. Really? Shipping T'Challa and Aurora with grandkids? No.
I'm fine with them having grandkids. Like, I think that's one of the problems is not enough of these characters are getting together and hooking up. It's like you spend all this time with somebody, you're gonna catch feelings for them. Why do you think I was so shocked when Kitty and Peter never got together? It's like, come on, or at least Kitty and Ilyana. Damn, like give me a love triangle, give me a love affair, give me something.
Yeah,
You know,
so the experience says they only know Deathlock from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yes, I had stopped watching by then. And bring J. August Richards Deathlock into the MCU. You know, after the horrible story in The Voices, I would not mind a different Deathlock. I don't know. So my whole thing is I don't want to be that person, especially when it comes to
they make it hard. They really make
two
it hard.
Black History Month comics that the big two put out. But I think you laid it out. If you're gonna do these, make them not so skippable. Out of all the Black heroes in Marvel Comics
and DC,
well, I'm just talking for the Marvel one. You pull out Deathlock, Daughters of the Dragon, where one of them's white.
and
no,
she's I think she's half white, half Chinese. I think
she's still not.
She's not African American. She's not Black.
And then you give us a What If story. I just feel like they could do better.
Oh yeah, they could.
They could do so much better.
I mean, we know it's pandering. Number one, we know it's pandering, but you could at least pretend that it's not. You know, that's the main thing that I have to say about that whole thing. Like, come on. Let's be honest. Come on.
And that is why people watch us, because we're honest.
Well, I just want more. Like, if you're going to give me representation, at least give me more. Like, give me something that matters. You know what
would have been nice? Any of the, well, you could do like any of the kids from the new X-Men, any of those.
Yeah.
I mean, even Prodigy, who we're going to review on the next segment, something.
Or Sync, or someone. You know, Luke Cage's kid. I don't know. Give us somebody. Like, there's tons of them. He's the mayor. I would have liked to have read, like, if they'd have tied. See, they could have tied it into
Gang War.
Into Gang War, and been like, sorry, honey, I'm out here busting robots. I'll be back later or something. I don't know. They could have did something with it. But
I know. I was disappointed, and I don't want to be that person, but it was just rough.
It could have been better.
Could have been.
So, and on that note, it is time for our second commercial break, but please stay tuned as we have the two Marvel, I guess for the Marvel crossovers that are going on, Gang War and Fall of X. So please stay tuned.
By this time in our journey, we had been on the trail of a very elusive creature for about 96 hours. But all the hard work is about to pay off. Oh, crikey, there she is. Oh, by the markings, I'd say this one's at least a 9.8. Oh, she's a real beauty. A true mint copy. Oh, this one will make a fine slab on anyone's display wall. Oh, she's a feisty one, though. Look out, look out!
Mint Hunter Comics is the place to find that mint comic you've been searching for. Mint Hunter Comics, Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, part of the experience.
Hey everyone, welcome back. You are watching the Geek Chat on the Experience. I'm Rich.
I'm Daz.
And I want to remind everyone, coming up at 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern, we have Sketch Up with Mog and Mel. Tonight's guests, they'll be talking finale with Philip, Jin, and Travis Corwin. And then Dave Law and Christine Shin will join in for support. And they're going to have some great giveaways as well. So be sure to come back and watch Sketch Up with Mog and Mel. So we got 2 more books. Of course, we always do our last segment is our big crossover. So we've got one gang war because Marvel has broken the chain and the amazing stuff that was coming and coming and coming. And now we have one book, and it is The Deadly Hands of Kung Fu number 2.
It's all out of order.
It is so whacked out.
It's all out of order.
I got the variant with
I got the regular.
I got the variant. Michael Cho's covers are really cool, but I really liked this one instead. Greg Pak is the writer. I'm gonna say, do you think it's Chow?
Yes.
Chow Majado is the artist. Jim Campbell was the color artist. VC's Travis Lanham is the letterer. And the cover of that, oh, it's David Aja. I was mistaken. I thought it was Michael Chow.
Yeah, yours is Michael Cho.
Oh, mine's Marcus Cho. Okay, so we are in the pretty much the end of Gang War. It's going to be wrapping up soon. So this number 2 really is all about Shang-Chi. I mean, yeah, Shang-Chi, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And him taking over the 10 Rings gang or whatever they call them. Oh, boy.
10 Ring Society, I think it's called.
Yeah. Well, we meet his girlfriend. I didn't know we had.
They're not a girlfriend. He has to protect her.
Yes, that's right.
But I love that everyone in New York is packing a stun gun, like a literal like laser stun gun, like a phaser, like a stun phaser from Star Trek. I was like, whoa, she's packing heat. So that made me kind of chuckle. I was like, damn.
The artist also was very inconsistent because when she shoots his guards, they stay down. When she shoots him, he's back up in like no time.
Of course, he is Shang-Chi. He is the deadly hands of Kung Fu. He should be able to shake that shit off or stuff off in a minute and keep on going. Come on. You know? Yeah. So I don't know. It again, it's all set up. It's all set up to see how Shang-Chi is going to react to the gang war stuff. And what's sad about it is this would have been a lot more impactful, I think, in the series had it come out when it was supposed to have come out. Because now we know it doesn't matter. Like his stuff doesn't matter because it comes down to the Beetle versus Madame Mask. So the stuff unless Shang-Chi comes out and helps out at the end or something.
He's gonna come out
and help out at the end.
Oh, okay.
Well, he did break up with his girlfriend, and then he's doing some kind of shady stuff in order to keep his in order to protect her or to keep stuff out. He's calling out gang people, but then there was an image inducer, so it really wasn't them. So I don't know. There was a lot of stuff going on in this book, but overall, and I think a lot of you probably are feeling this too. This whole gang war thing started off so good, and it has, I don't know what happened, but it is fizzled. Like all the excitement I've had for it has fizzled. And I think the one thing we talked about a couple of episodes ago, the one thing that really did it was how they treated the Kingpin and Typhoid Mary, and that whole thing with they were only fighting because they had some marital stuff, and then the lateness of this and Spider-Woman, and this book really doesn't seem like it fits in with the rest of the stuff. I don't know, with the rest of the event. And I don't know. I'm just really sad that this event has not delivered. Ended? No. It hasn't delivered. So I really hope that the last couple of issues because I think we have. Let me see. We have a whole slew. Like we have all February, and then we have March, and it's weird because why does it end with Daredevil number 4 Gang War? You would think Amazing Spider-Man number 44 would be the ending of it, but
Right.
we have this one with Daredevil. So, and out of all of these books, the only ones that are going to survive are definitely going to be Spider-Man, of course, Miles Morales, and Spider-Woman.
Yeah.
All the other ones are going away. Number one, because they have the moniker of Gang War on it. But I really hope that this month it really lights up. Like something happens. Something really comes along that makes
we have the
this
battle.
movie.
The battle's an Amazing Spider-Man.
Well,
which...
I just don't know if that battle's going to be enough. Like I was hoping for a lot more stuff coming out of it. Like,
Yeah.
But again, I guess they can't really destroy the status quo as much as we would like them to do. Because think about it, you have Luke Cage, running in a vigilante-less, being a vigilante, and then you have Wilson Fisk and the Hellfire Club, and then you have this giant gang war. It just seems like there needs to be a book to capitalize on all of this, and I don't think that book should be Spider-Man.
You think they should have led with a gang war? Just gang war is the title, 1 through 4, and then interweave the different plots through the different stories through that.
Yep.
Like they used to do.
Yep. And then have books come out of the gang war, because a lot of people are in this, and what's going to happen now? Like, what story can I follow now that will continue what is being done in this book? And that's the problem. I don't know what it's going to be, because I hope it's not Spider-Man, because
Right.
Spider-Man has a whole bunch of other stuff that he needs to be doing. So it needs to be, so what I was hoping for this was we would get a whole new series of street level books that would kind of show the status quo, sort of like what they did with Annihilation Wave way back when they had the Annihilation event, and then we got a new Nova book, a new Guardians of
the Galaxy book.
We got all this new stuff that was really cool, and I thought, okay, maybe they're going to do this on a micro level with the street heroes. We got a new Daredevil starring Elektra. We get a new 10 Rings. We would get maybe like a new Heroes for Hire, and it would be those 3. So you have Daredevil with sad ass Matt Murdock doing his thing, but then you have Daredevil Elektra who's doing her thing. Then you have Luke Cage and Heroes for Hire, and have Heroes for Hire be the main book that's kind of dealing with it because he's the mayor, and then you have one other side ancillary book, that you could read that would keep what's going on with the gangs, because I think there's just a lot of really good material with the Gangs of New York kind of stuff, but they're faltering. I don't think Zeb Wells was the right writer to kind of spearhead all of that. I just think that this is a huge missed opportunity for Marvel, a really huge missed opportunity to really let their street level, super powered, because I think there's a level, like you have like your super powered tier, you have your cosmic tier, and then you have like a secondary super, and then you have your street level. I'm talking about like that, like just below, like right above street level, but below like X-Men. You have that little level right there where you can throw in your Moon Knights, your Punishers, who have just a little bit of mysticism, but still a little bit of extra, as well.
I really wish the Kung Fu was a one-shot. Just give me a double-sized one-shot. What's happening? I think 3 issues is too much filler, too much exposition. I don't care about it. But if you give me one book with a beginning, a middle, and an end that ties everything together, perfect. And 2, I just want to say, we haven't reviewed them, but that Daredevil series is really good. The last issue just had, you can't. So the last issue was She-Hulk, and she was taken over by Gluttony, I think it was. and
Like the Matt Murdock Daredevil.
Yeah, and he had to fight She-Hulk, which was
I'm sorry, I can't sad sack Matt Murdock. I can't deal with.
Oh, he's a priest.
Again, sad sack Matt Murdock, can't do it.
No,
like the last really good Daredevil run that I really liked was Mark Waid's, when he actually was trying to be nice and happy. Like, they just can't allow someone in a devil costume to be happy.
No.
And I'm sad about that.
We also haven't finished the Punisher series. I'm really sorry. Something is in my throat.
No, I didn't want to read the new Punisher either. Although I would love to see them do like a when Lobo came and killed Fake Bo.
Yeah.
I would love to see that, or Clone Bo or whatever they called it, where the original Frank Castle comes back from Weird World or something. That'd be kind of fun.
That would be. Yeah. So we got one more book up.
I'm really interested to see what you thought about this book. That book being Dead X-Men, who were not really dead, which is very interesting that they're not dead, because I totally thought that they were going to be dead.
Well, they were supposed to be dead. They all were slaughtered in the Hellfire Gala.
No, I guess not. Okay, so the writer was Steve Fox. The artist was Jonas Scharf, Bernard Chang, and Vincent Carretto.
Vincenzo.
Yeah. And then the color artist was Frank Martin, and the letterer was VC's Corey Pittet. So this is really weird, because I thought the art was fantastic in some places and a little off in others. And I could definitely, I don't know what was going on with that. But I think it's because they had two different artists.
3. Anytime a book needs 3 artists, it really makes me wonder why. Why did this book need 3 different artists? Was it rushed? Was it late? Like,
I think Vincenzo was the inker though, and I think they inked the other 2.
Really?
Yeah, because I can tell when it turns into Bernard Chang's artwork. I think they needed someone to come in afterwards and add some extra pages to it. I think that's what happened. Is they basically had Bernard Chang do the whole thing, and maybe he wasn't available or something, and they added some extra stuff to it in order to either do filler or add some more stuff to it. But I want to know what you think about this, because they're back. They're not dead. They were put into that weird X place where Professor X is, I guess, and that little place. So they were brought back, or
damn. I really wanted to like this book. I really did. Like, I really did. And I was happy with most of it. I like when they world hop. I like when we get to see different versions of worlds. The Dark Child taking over.
It's all over the place, dude. It's all over the place.
That was my problem. Like, we understand they have to go through all of Moira's lives to find one remaining Moira that hasn't been corrupted.
I thought she only had like 10 or 9.
She did. She had 10 lives.
How many lives they've gone through? Like 30 lives. It's like, I guess, do the clones' lives count? Because I
don't know.
Because
maybe they do. Maybe that was the purpose. Maybe they're the clone lives.
Because I am assuming that they are going through clone lives as well. So all the clones have 10 lives too, and maybe depending on the amount of clones that they have, that's how many they're going through. And so they have to they have to find a line that's a clone line, and then say, okay, this is a clone line. Maybe we can kind of tie it over here,
right?
And make that work. I don't know, but they seem to keep bouncing around. And the thing that really freaked me out was at the end of the last one, the last main X-Men, Rise of Powers of X-Men was, they showed a map of the different lines, and so they're starting to contradict themselves, and I don't like it when comics do that, especially when it's only been like 5 years, and we're coming to an end. Like, your editors, use them, do that, keep it together.
But on the other side, I really like that Fox took different ideas from all the other books. And he's tying them all together. So we get Abigail Brand. And if you read Sword, you know she was plotting the downfall. We get the ramifications from this.
Yeah.
It involves Redfire, which was Sunfire going to save Redroot or whatever the name was. And that is his new look. I love anytime we get to see Blink and Random.
Yep.
As a fan of not well-known characters, I love Blink. I've always loved Random. And we get some more Armor love, even though Armor will be featured heavily in Peach Momoko's Ultimate X-Men. It was nice to see Armor because her anniversary came up. It's been so many years since Joss Whedon created her.
Mm-hmm.
I also like that we get from, oh my God, it was the New Mutants, but before that, it was in the Avengers when Sunspot and Cannonball, and he was married to Smasher, and we get to see their child.
Yep.
Like the ideas of reality hopping and all that, I love them. But for me, it was less about, we know the mission, we know who the mission is being run by, and Xavier even questioned her, why these people? And for me, Cannonball has been around for so long. He has been an X-Men, an Avenger. I feel like this is, I don't want to say demotion.
It is a demotion. 100%. He should be leading the team.
It is.
He should be leading the team.
The fact that Jubilee is, I'm glad Jubilee's back to not being a vampire. I thought that was one of the worst time periods for her.
Mm-hmm.
And Dazzler, and I loved that Fox knew that one of the jokes with Dazzler is going all the way back to when Uncanny was going on, and then Excalibur. She's never been able to stay dead. And I like that he touched on that. There were so many good things about this book. I guess I will enjoy it more maybe after the number 2. Like, I want to see how everything turns out.
I thought it was a one-shot, honestly. To tell you the God's honest truth, I thought it was a one-shot as an ancillary to tell you what's going on with the dead X-Men and what their pivotal role was, and they were going to pick it up in the main series.
Nope.
The problem that I'm having with this is there's just too much stuff going on. And I think a lot. There's too much stuff going on. Whereas with the original, House and Powers, it boiled it down, and he was able to tell a very concise story to set everything up. I don't understand why they can't do a tight, concise story to wrap it all up. I don't understand it. I really don't. I really don't understand what's going on with Marvel's editorial to allow all this stuff to happen in such a crazy way. And I get it. It's money. They need to make more money. They need to, I don't know what, salvage something or what. I don't know. I, on the other hand, enjoyed the book. I thought I thought some of the art was really good. I thought Bernard Chang, when he was allowed to really let go, it felt really, really good.
Right.
I was annoyed to see another Moria and her weird ass axe. And the thing was like, we're carrying the last thing of Mysterium. Why? Who the care? What's this Mysterium? What's this damn MacGuffin we got now? I'm just so annoyed by that right now.
Okay, but I'm gonna have to push back on that. I thought the idea of Weapon M and her axe being taken from Omega Red, being from Wolverine's body, Zorn's severed head. I don't know. For me, I was like, that's kind of cool.
But is she going to show up in the other book? Like, is she going to cut her way through her own timeline to something else?
That's the whole thing. I like that Fox pulled in all the different ideas from different books. Yes, a lot happened in this first issue.
But why are we getting new shit? Like, why are we getting new stuff? Stop it. We're supposed to be wrapping this up. Why are we getting new stuff? Sorry. I didn't mean to curse. I apologize. But it's like, why are we getting this new stuff? It's like, stop it. It's time to wrap up. It's like, you don't got to go home, but you can't stay here no more, Moria. You got to go. Hit the brakes, lady.
I will be glad. I will say, I will be glad when we're past. I have to agree with you on the repetition of her
The Moria age of Moria.
Getting a little long in the tooth. I'm like, okay, come on. I just don't care.
He's the longest non-mutant character. Jeez.
Hold on 1 second. What are we getting next week for Xbox, Kook?
I have no idea. Something.
He has his list ready. I want to know what we'll be reviewing next week. Because if you noticed, I don't think there was a coming up next in the back of it.
There wasn't.
No, there was.
So there was? I didn't see it. I missed it.
We get
Wolverine. It says continued in Wolverine 42.
We get X-Men.
And X-Men 31.
In Ultimate Black Panther. We will be reviewing Ultimate Black Panther next week.
I'm excited for that.
I'll get it tomorrow. I'll send you a picture.
I hate you so much. I hate you so much. See, people, this is why like your best friend should not be someone who owns a comic book shop, because they won't tell you anything. They'll just send you a picture and be like, guess what I have? Meaner.
You have something to tell all our viewers about.
I do. So, we're changing subjects. If you don't know, now you do. I am also a comic book creator. Surprise, surprise. And I've written some comics in the past. But what's really kind of cool is I was offered the opportunity to be a part of a Black queer anthology called We Belong. And it's a sci-fi anthology. And I cannot wait to let you all. I wish I had been smart enough to show you all to send our editor, our sound person, our god,
our
everything, a picture of the front of the book. But I'll be in it, and it comes out on February 18th at a little thing called Pride in Panels. And that is it's a San Francisco Queer Comics Fest, and it's Pride in Panels. It's on Sunday, February 18th, 2024, and it'll be at the book title was We Belong, and it is it's going to be at the San Francisco Public Library. And on February 18th, it's an all-day event, and there's going to be panels and exhibitors, all queer, all colors, all people. You can come out there, but I will actually be. I did a 6-page story in it, and it's about sci-fi fantasy, as that genre has largely been void of African American representation. So we wanted to say, hey, we're here. We belong. Let's do this.
And you wrote and drew it?
I wrote and drew it. It's my first time drawing a book. So
I can't wait.
Yeah, I've written a lot of comics, but and self-published a lot of comics, but it's my first time actually drawing, and it was quite it was quite craziness to do it. But I will be there at the library from 2 p.m. to about 3 p.m. signing the anthology. So if you want to come out and meet me, and you live in the Bay Area, you can come to San Francisco Library, and we would love to see you there.
And how much is the book?
I have no idea.
Oh.
I have no idea how much the book is. There it is. Thank you so much for finding that. That is the book title. That is it's done by Stacked Deck Press and Prism Comics. William or Lynx was one of the editors, and that's the book cover of We Belong. So I really hope that you can come out and support. It's a really easy BART trip. You get up BART, get off on Civic Center Station, you walk up, the library's right up the street. You can't miss it. So I really hope to see you all there. And yeah, I felt really excited. I'll never forget. I texted Rich, and it's like when I got paid for it, I got paid for it. So I was like, oh my God, I got paid for my artwork. What kind of crazy Moria timeline is this? Hope he doesn't die. So, but thank you so much for that. And I can't wait. Yes. So find more about it here. Hopefully I'm going to try to get some of these, let you all know how it goes. There's a whole bunch of creators in it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So
I can't wait.
Yeah. So that's it from us. Thank you so much, Brother Chief. That's it from us. I want to let you know, thank you so much for tuning in. We really love to talk comics. We love having you all here. Wherever you're watching, want to say thank you. Also, please tell your friends about us. Subscribe. We're having a little the Experience is having a contest at 2,500 subs on YouTube. As soon as they hit it, they'll be tossing out 25 CGC slabs among all of their shows. So that's a lot of stuff. So please take the time to like, share, tell your friends, subscribe, make them do it, please.
And I'm really hoping next week I like something. I mean, I like Dead X-Men, but I'm really hoping I like more than just an X-book.
That's the thing about it, though. Not everything's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's the nature of opinions, nature of comics, and just the nature of, life in general. Can't like everything.
Nope. Especially this week's books.
But one good thing though is I found out that I really enjoy Masters of the Universe, and I really am going to sit down and watch the first ones. So thank you for that.
I'm really glad.
So.
You should also watch Percy Jackson.
Yes, everything that the Experience does is fantastic. But the exception proves the rule. Yeah. Percy Jackson, the TV series?
Yeah, it's on Disney.
Huh. I watched the first movie and never watched any of the other ones. And I've
never seen it. I've never watched it, but the show's actually pretty good. Okay. I really enjoyed it. It's 8 episodes. It's done. You can just binge all of them.
30 minutes or hour episodes?
Oh God, I don't remember. I think they vary.
Okay. They usually do. Oh, another really good TV series that you should check out is the Brothers' Son. It is a Chinese martial arts TV series starring Michelle Yeoh.
Oh,
yeah, she's a gangland triad boss's wife, and her husband gets killed, but she had to go away, and she's in Los Angeles, and she has a son. Her firstborn son is like the triad leader, and he kills people, and then her second son is like what does he say? A soft boy, because he was raised in the States, and so he's super soft. So it's like,
what's it on?
Netflix. So
right,
great show.
There's some other shows.
Yeah, check them out. But that's our time, everybody. Please stay tuned. For next is Mog and Mel Sketch Up. So please stay tuned for that.
Yeah, and we'll see you next week.
Yep.
Same comic place, same comic channel, The Experience.
Right. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
Why was Princess Zelda sad after watching a bunch of YouTube videos? She couldn't find a link in the description. We'll stop if you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's super easy. Click subscribe and click the bell when you do. And thanks for supporting the EXP.